I don't know how long this video is going to last, so I'm going to try to share with you as best I can. First off, the water. No, I'm not like sitting in my bathroom or something. It's my dishwasher running. And number two, if I get interrupted, it's because my almost 3-year-old, cannot believe it, almost 3-year-old is coming downstairs because he refused nap time today. So I just put on Super Truck so I could try to make this video for you. So I hear a lot and I get asked a lot by people, you know, Erin, how can you stay so consistent? How do you stay so focused on your journey? How have you done this for so long? I wish I could do that. I wish I could be disciplined like you. So I want to make sure you guys understand that I didn't start my journey like on point. Let's just say that for pretty much my whole life, up until about 5 years ago, the 3 items that were always on my grocery list was Oreos, Edie's ice cream, and Diet Pepsi. And I mean on my grocery list, like I would call home if I happened to work a day shift that day and check with Matt to see if we needed anything. And those were the items we would look to see if we needed. So I'd have to stop and grab some more on the way home. Not milk, not bread, not eggs, like not the things that most people do. Like that was our staples at the house. And I share that because I think sometimes it gets forgotten about that I struggled with sweets. Big time. I struggled with desserts. I struggled with ice cream. I'm talking like I wouldn't just go have like 1 or 2 Oreos. I would have at minimum 8. And I would have them in a big pile with my glass of milk and I would bring it over to the couch and I would crash down and that's like I would pound it back. And it finally got to a point where after Matt came home from the hospital when he was sick and quick, he ended up having a MRSA infection in his throat, which shut off his airway. He was on a ventilator for 8 days in an ICU at Mass General in Boston. And we didn't know if he was coming home. So after that experience and after he came home and we had our second chance as a family, I had to make a decision for myself because I knew I wasn't the mom that I wanted to be. I knew I wasn't the wife I had always dreamed I would be. I was tired. I was exhausted all the time. I had absolutely no confidence. And all I did have was tons of excuses. Tons of excuses. Didn't have the money, didn't have the time, didn't have the energy, didn't have, so I didn't. I didn't for 6 years after having my first child. And then when Matt came home, I couldn't help but think, how selfish am I to keep living the way that I'm living, to keep feeling the way that I'm feeling, and knowing that I'm not showing up for my husband and for my kids and for myself the best way I could. And then, just like some of you I may have reached out to, an acquaintance from school, from 2nd grade and up, popped up in my newsfeed. And I made a decision. I could have ghosted her. I could have ignored her messages. I could have just said no and given her one of the many excuses that I'd given myself over the last 6 years since becoming a mom and since struggling, working full time and being a wife and being a mom. But for the first time, I said, you know what? It's time. I show up. I show up for myself. I show up for my husband, and I show up for my kids because they deserved the best Erin they could get, and I deserved the best Erin I could get. And now, 5 years later, with consistent pig-headed discipline to not give up, our lives are forever changed. And I'm not just talking about like the business and stuff and the fact that I no longer am at the Olive Garden, but it's just I'm happier. And I'm healthier, and they are too. So I share this just to remind you, friends, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling discouraged, if you're like struggling, there's hope. There's hope because I've done it. And I am nothing special other than a mom who loves her family so much that she decided to finally love herself. So if this video is helpful, if it spoke to you, please like it, please share it, throw it in your stories, whatever. I can't thank you enough for watching this long. It's 5 minutes, so I'm going to go now. Thanks. Bye.